Dhruv, you talked about in our briefing session and even publicly about your experience with anxiety to a certain extent. And this brings me back to the conversation about balance, right? Now, balance can happen over a continuum. Every situation itself can't be balanced. If I've fallen down a set of stairs, we can't be putting balm on everyone unless you're looking for a lawsuit. So the idea here is if you're going through a rough day and that continues for, say, a couple of weeks, so you need more understanding from your partner, that's your expectation. What if you find that that imbalance starts to develop, where one partner is looking for, say, either care or support or hearing, and the other doesn't? So in that case, what does the caregiver do, in your opinion? How do they have their expectations met?
Well, in my case, I stopped looking at them as the only source of help in that, because sometimes, like during the phase when I have anxiety and during that spell, I find it very difficult to even make anyone else understand what the hell am I going through. It's so difficult to articulate. It's like explaining someone after coming from a 20-hour shoot day that, oh, I'm so tired, and they'll ask you why you tired. You just sat in the vanity, and you're like, but that was tiring. You can't articulate
Right,
everything
right.
perfectly well, right? But and this may sound like a romanticization of life, but I keep my mind takes me back to the things that my parents have sometimes taught me in childhood and something like that, and when I realized that they were going through some shit, and how maybe one of them said something positive, and what my mother says to me, when I was a kid, or what she says to me even now. So somehow I find that somewhere in the periphery of my mind, right at the corners or the edges, there are things that are out there to sort of protect me. And there could be a book that I read, there could be a song, there could even be some biryani or whatever it is. But that's where I find refuge. I try to save myself there first, because it's very difficult to. It's a road to disappointment, because if I'm like, why can't you understand? Why can't you understand? It reached a point so much where I had to research how do you live with somebody who has anxiety, and I had to take out all those papers and articles, and I had to email them to my partners. So
Right,
this is what you
right.
have to do, and that's education for that person. That's education for me also. But it's such a long road to. To go to that point. Sometimes it takes years, it takes decades. We are in a time where there's some level of awareness, in fact great awareness, at least on platforms like Instagram and all that somehow you keep getting hints on how to survive, and you still may not do great. But I think the answers are not answers, but there are some clues, there's some help somewhere always there. um, and I don't rely on only one thing for anything, not for my source of happiness or sadness. um, which is why in lockdown, I was really happy, because you can make coffee and you can have the best day, but you never thought the coffee could make you happy.
Yeah.
So there are different sources of happiness, and I think to put pressure on just love as the single and the most important source of happiness is sort of wrong and not justified, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think even from a financial standpoint, people talk about having a diversified portfolio so you can spread your risk and you can spread your gains. I think happiness is very similar. Another thing is, I think with partners and expectations, they talk about how a partner needs to complement you and not complete you. I think frequently people can look for their partners to complete them, and that can be distressing in certain situations.
What's kind of, I mean, it's a rather question, but what's kind of always puzzling is, you always have this a static idea of a person, that you were the one that I met you, and now you're not the same. So these expectations and these dynamics of relationship, they constantly keep changing, keep changing. So the moment you think that you figured it out and it's good, there's a voice in my head. I'm like, give it 2 more weeks. You'll start thinking about things in a way that you've never thought of. So for me, it's nothing but a massive work in progress project, and you do it because there's gratification, and you do it because it may not be the only source of happiness, but it's the biggest source of happiness in some cases. But yeah, I've always seen it as, ये तो project है lifelong. ये तो वो film है जो कभी बनने नहीं वाली, but ये लिखता रहूँगा मैं पूरी life.